Welcome to the Break Vape podcast. I am your host, Tami Ernst. If you are an overwhelmed mom struggling to quit vaping after trying everything in your power to quit, then you are in the right place, mama. Each week on the show, we analyze stress, vaping, and addiction from a place of zero self-judgment so that you can build up the skills you need to ditch your vapes for good. Are you ready? Let's get to work. Hey mamas, before we get started with today's amazing episode, I just want to give you a little warning that while my episodes are usually very squeaky clean in terms of language, today is maybe not exactly so much, if you know what I mean. So if you're concerned about your children listening, go ahead and find a time to where you can listen to this episode by yourself. Enjoy! Hey mamas, welcome back to the podcast. I know that you are sick and tired of battling vaping in your life, so buckle up, Buttercup, because over the next 4 weeks, in the spirit of Self-Love February, I am going to give you a rock-solid foundation for how to quit vaping for good this time so that you can be vape-free as soon as you want to. Wait, I know you're probably saying, Tami, hold up, wait, you're saying I can quit vaping whenever I want to? Yes, girl, that is what I am telling you. And to get this done, the very first thing that we have to do is pull vaping out of that beautiful brain of yours where it has been running on autopilot in stealth mode. You're going to stick with me for the next 4 weeks, okay? Because when we pull this addiction out of your brain and begin to analyze it, it is going to act like a PO'd little toddler throwing tantrums that make you miserable. And you, like the loving mom that you are going to handle these tantrums with patience and emotional safety because you know that they actually have a very positive opportunity to give you the upper hand by utilizing a teachable moment. Would we rather close the door and ignore a tantrum and forget like it never happened? My lazy brain wants to say yes, but my mama bear brain knows that teachable moments are necessary for growth. So when it comes to opting out of life by vaping so that you don't have to feel present in all of your overwhelm, these teachable moments are necessary for you too. That vape isn't doing you any favors. It is actually just pulling you down in so many ways. And I know that you feel an inkling of that because you're listening to this episode right now. So I want you to take this feeling and use it to develop some skills around understanding how vaping shows up in your life so that the next time you try to quit, you'll approach quitting from a place of empowerment instead of desperation. Back when I was vaping, I knew it was bad for me, but I didn't have the skills that it took to quit without white-knuckling it. And when I would muster up the resolve to quit just to fail miserably, I would beat myself up in a shame spiral as I sheepishly returned to my vape store to just buy another one, swearing yet again that this would be my last one. And ladies, that was awful. I remember it vividly, and I want so much better for you. Along the way, I learned through face-first failure over and over again that quitting for good took a process of rediscovering the woman that I had lost touch with. Now, if you're cringing along with me, it's because that process was scary at the time because of the amount of vulnerability that it required. There's no way around that, but people are constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. So stick with me, okay? Because your vape-free life is on the other side of tapping into your vulnerability. And I know this because it has taken women that I coach getting to a place of trust and safety with me to say, okay, here's the real story. Here's the woman that I used to be. Here is how I lost touch with her. And here is the woman I've always wanted to be. But you won't be able to say sentences like that until you become self-aware because you may not have discovered what you want from yourself yet and have ever even had to fight to keep it. Or you may be so lost in the layers of overwhelm that you've never had the motivation to stay healthy and set a great goal for yourself. I see it all, and you are not alone. And maybe there's a slight chance that perhaps you believe vaping might not be that bad for you, so we'll clear that up today too. Guys, I remember literally asking Google how to find out what I'm passionate about because I felt so dull for such a long time. And I know that vaping made me feel this way because it allowed me to not be fully present. And when you're not fully present, you miss any chance of happiness and excitement that you may have been able to see otherwise. So no matter where you are coming from, if you have just never questioned why you are vaping in the first place, or if you are scared to set a big goal, or if you are completely exhausted from feeling like vapes control you, we are going to get to the bottom of you being able to start helping yourself right now. Today, we are going to start with teaching you how to become self-aware, because self-awareness leads to curiosity. Curiosity leads to disciplined goals, and disciplined goals lead to self-empowerment. And like I hinted at earlier, when you feel empowered, you will be able to set off on your quitting journey from a place of confidence instead of desperation. And that is huge. So these next 4 weeks, we are going to cover self-awareness, and then the week after that, curiosity, the week after that, disciplined goals, and the week after that, self-empowerment. It's going to be awesome. Being self-aware is to truly understand yourself and to take responsibility for the results in your life. Again, if you're cringing, this may seem scary and vulnerable because it is. And again, that is good. And it leads me to my first point, which is to let your guard down. Make sure you do this from a place of zero self-judgment, okay? That is very important because the point here is not to beat yourself up, nor is it permission for me to come in and attack you. I would never do that, ever. Right now, you are dropping your guard to simply allow yourself to think some thoughts and to feel some feelings authentically. Consider this episode your wake-up call if you've been murking about your life and are ready for some inspiration to quit. You have to find that inspiration for yourself, and I will show you how with the following 2 exercises. I'm going to assume that most of you guys know that vaping is extremely toxic to every area of your life. But just in case you don't, in the light of becoming self-aware, do you really understand how bad it is for your physical and mental health? By listening to this podcast, you have every skill you need to be educated, informed, and aware that absolutely nothing good comes from vaping. So let your guard down just for a minute. Stop defending yourself by blaming vaping on stress and ask yourself, why are you hurting yourself? What are you trying to escape from? It can be anything from extreme stress to boredom. But why are you handling stress and boredom by hurting yourself? For most of us, the answer is that slowly hurting ourselves feels better than quickly having to be present enough to deal with the overwhelm or boredom in our lives in a healthy way. Now, is that an excuse, or is that how you truly feel? If your brain is offering you tons of excuses right now as to why you vape when you know it's bad for you, question your brain back and ask it how and why you are defending the fact that you vape when you know that nothing good comes from it. For this exercise, number 1, called dropping your guard, I want you to drop every excuse that you have for vaping, every single one of them. There is not a single reason to justify slowly killing yourself by vaping. Zero, nada, none. You can handle life without vaping. I know you can. Now, with your guard down and totally dropped, ask yourself what you're going to do to manage your stress and boredom without hurting yourself. I've seen my clients slowly come back to life by letting their guard down and getting super vulnerable with themselves. So I know that you can do this too. Which brings me to exercise number 2 of becoming self-aware, which is called value excavation. Now, with your guard down, completely dropped, and excuses thrown out the door, we are going to take a deep dive into assessing your values and the results in your life right now. When you approach the results you have in your life without any blame and excuses, this exercise will ultimately lead you to understand what values you are embodying right now. Now, if you don't like the results and the values that you have created in your life up until now, then don't wear them like an identity, okay? You are capable of changing for the better. That's why we're here today. People change all of the time. And right now, we just want to figure out what your values are that you want to truly live out and how to do that in the spirit of self-awareness. Here's a great way to identify your values, okay? First, I want you to ask yourself, when you are at your absolute worst, like face down, depressed, in the F-its kind of worst, what do you still show up for? Do you still show up to walk your dog? If yes, then you value your pet. Do you still go through the daily motions of making sure that your kids are safe and fed and picked up from school, even if you can't do it? If yes, then you still value being a good mom. Do you still go to work and make money? If yes, then you still value work in some way. Do you still visit your sick relative when they're in the hospital? If yes, then you still value your family. Do you still kiss your partner? If yes, then you still value your relationship. Do you still work out? If yes, then you still value your health. Do you still dream of what great things are possible in your life? If yes, then you have hope for a better version of yourself. Do you still pray? If yes, then you still have value for your spiritual life. If you saw someone getting robbed, would you call 911? If yes, you still have value defending innocent people. The list goes on. What do you value, my friend? Come up with a few of your own questions and you'll see what your values are even when you think that you are at your very worst. Additionally, here is another way to determine what your values are. Now I want you to ask yourself, when you are at your absolute best, what are you super lazy at? And ask yourself all the same questions. Do you still walk your dog? Do you still take care of your kids? Do you still go to work? Do you still visit your sick friend or relative? Do you still kiss your partner? Do you still work out? Do you defend innocent people? Do you dream of what else is possible for your best life? Do you still pray? Write down your answers for both type of questions and see what values you keep in motion for when you are at your absolute worst and when you are at your absolute best. So write those down, take a minute, come back and replay the episode if you need to, and then circle them. These are your key values. Now, with your guard still down, I want you to look at the values that you circled and ask yourself how much better you could be living out each one of your core values if you aren't vaping. Would you not blow secondhand smoke around your pet? Would you be more present for your kids and have the energy to play with them and handle the stress that they throw at you in a healthier way? Would you set a good example for them by not vaping yourself? Would you spend your hard-earned money on something other than vapes, especially knowing that when you spend money on vapes, big tobacco will turn right around and use that money to market vaping to your kids and everyone else's kids? Would you have the mental energy to check in on people you care about more often? Would you have a better relationship with your partner because you stopped lying about vaping? Or maybe you just feel beautiful and confident that you were able to quit and they find that incredibly attractive. How would your workouts be impacted? How much better would you feel physically after you quit vaping? What would you dream of going after in your life now that your mental capacity, time, and money are freed up from vaping? How is your spiritual life better now knowing that you are taking care of yourself? Would you help spread the word to innocent people that vaping is dangerous? Because while they may not be being physically held at gunpoint in front of you on the street somewhere getting robbed, they will be robbed of their physical health, their mental health, their money, their time, and their relationships by vaping. Now take a moment to reflect on your answers with your guard down from that place of zero self-judgment and really clearly see how vaping does not line up with your values. Congratulations, ladies, for sticking with me until the end of this exercise because this is how you become self-aware. It's not always fun, but it's essential. And like I mentioned earlier, self-awareness leads to curiosity. Curiosity leads to disciplined goals. Disciplined goals lead to self-empowerment, and self-empowerment will set you up to absolutely crush your quit vaping goals because you'll be approaching them now from a place of control and confidence instead of from fear and desperation. This approach will make all the difference in the world for you, and it starts with becoming self-aware. I am so proud of you for doing this work today. I want you to thank yourself truly for learning how to become self-aware. And as a side note, here is an awesome tip that I wanted to save for the end so that we close on a fun note today since we had some heavy coaching. Are you ready? You can thank other people for being self-aware too. It might take a time or two, but this is a great way to get your kids, your partner, a coworker, whoever to take responsibility for themselves and to even completely snuff out a fight. For example, if your kid says, "Mom, I'm so sorry for interrupting you," you can simply say, Thank you. I forgive you. And I love how you are being so self-aware. This will positively reinforce self-awareness in respect to your kiddos. And another example that you can do with your partner is perhaps, let's just say that your partner comes home and says, honey, I'm sorry that I was short with you on the phone. I had a really stressful day at work. To which you can reply, thank you. I forgive you. And it is so sexy when you are self-aware. I just love you for it. And if you're texting, add in some cute emojis. See how you validated their apology while maintaining the expectation to remain respected here and added a stealthy, flirty compliment? I'm telling you guys, self-awareness is magical. So have fun trying it out for yourself and seeing how you can spark it up in other areas of your life too. You guys are the best. That is all for this week, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in today. If you like what was offered in today's show and want even more support, head over to www.breakvapes.com and schedule your free strategy session to discover exactly how my proven system can help you ditch your vapes for good. Bye for now.